entire week.
Tell me one more time.
So this road, which is the cul-de-sac of West Ames and the cul-de-sac of South End Avenue, will be shut down for the entire week. No parking, no public access. We'll have around-the-clock security. A temporary construction site will pretty much be set up. And if you're looking out at the water right now, you can see that we're still pretty far away. So because this bridge is so long, the crane actually has to reach into right here. This is how far the crane has to reach to set this 130-foot span and miss the trees and pick between these two apartment buildings. So you have a 130-foot steel section that weighs 130,000 pounds on the edge of a crane that's actually 50 feet off of the water there, and then reaching all the way out to here. The edge of the bridge will actually be back around where the backside of that silver SUV is sitting. Over the top of the trees. Spins, curves, turns, and drops it. And it's too big to sit on a truck, so there'll be what's called Goldhoffers or self-propelled transporters that it will land on that can do a full 360 and walk this whole section down, and then do a multiple point K turn to get into the adjacent cul-de-sac to be parked for the week.
Were you saying, just as you're walking, to think about tying the trees back again? All these trees?
So Battery Park City has their own in-house arborist because they're so particular about their trees. So we had to come up with a tree plan and guarantee that we don't damage any of these trees. So all of these trees that you see surrounding us on this block will be tied back specifically or strategically pruned so that we don't damage them when we drive the crane, when we drive the bridge span down, or as we're picking with the crane. Some of these trees are 40, 50 feet high. We have to go over the top of them so that we obviously don't damage any of the branches.
So if we haven't gotten it, this canopy I'm gonna get.
Yeah.
Probably
If you go back there and you stand at, I mean, it's...
for the water all the way back.
So what we found out is that this is actually not a structural seawall, so you can't actually anchor the barge or park the barge along this. So we have to have tugboats in place holding the crane barge off the wall, and then more tugboats holding the second barge, holding the bridge, that are running full time to keep the barge in control so we don't damage the seawall as we do this.
It's gonna be more complicated if the bridge float up.
Where the boom, right, pivots at the base is higher than this tree. Yep. That's why we're doing it early in the week so that we have weather days. Right? So it's part of the whole planning. Our date that we have to meet is the weekend because of the closure of the West Side Highway, the planning with NYPD, MTA for all the bus routes that have to be moved, closing of the Brooklyn Battery Tunnel. So we can't miss that weekend date. So if we shoot to bring this with the barge and the barge crane on a Monday and we have weather issues, we still have Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and into Friday to still get this thing on land and walk it down. Because there's obviously restrictions. You can see this is a relatively calm day and it's still rather choppy.
Windy, yeah.